Do you have a complicated relationship with social media? I certainly do. If you want to hear my thoughts about it, stay tuned. Hi everybody, welcome back to Project Happy Home. For those of you who are new here, I'm Tanya, a doctor lawyer turned homeschooling mom of 3 kids ages 8, 4, and 3. 2 of them just moved up, so it's hard for that to roll off my tongue. In this video, I'm just going to go into my relationship with social media and how it's evolved over time. On the one hand, you're probably thinking, wait a second, you decided to put your life out on YouTube. How can you have a complicated relationship with social media? And isn't it a little late to be talking about this? I would answer back, honestly, it's probably more complicated because I have a YouTube channel. A lot of people who know me in real life are probably really surprised that I decided to make a YouTube channel. I'm a very private person in many ways with people in my real life, people who've known me for a great number of years. And I actually find it somewhat cathartic to put out my thoughts and my life on YouTube to a faceless, nameless audience, though I do care about you guys also, and I gain so much from your comments, and I appreciate your support so much. For being a very intensely private person and an introverted person for a long time, there is a real relief and outlet in a format like this where I can share my thoughts and concerns and evolution as a mother and a wife and a person without immediately hearing feedback on the other side, and with a view to build community and to share in the hopes that my experience can help other people. But that being said, let me get back to how my relationship with social media started and how it evolved. I remember about 10 years ago or so, my brother was in college and he told me that there was this new thing called Facebook and that I should really get on it, and it would be a way to reconnect with people I knew in high school. My brother and I are split by 10 years, so I was already in my late 20s at the time. And I thought to myself, how disgusting. If people wanted to know me, they would have stayed in touch. There's no reason to reach out to people that obviously don't care about me enough to have remained friends with me. That being said, fast forward a couple of years and Facebook had taken over the world by storm. The only way to keep track of your social calendar and things that were going on in your community, things that were going on at your child's preschool, etc., were really to join those Facebook pages and to know what was going on. Your neighborhood HOA had a Facebook page, everyone did. So I joined. And I immediately became friends with my parents, my brother, some of my best friends. And then you look to see, who are these people friends with? Oh, this person from high school. Oh, this person from college. Well, let me send them a friend request and see what's going on in their lives. And then it sort of snowballs. And within a week, you have 300 or 400 friends. And I never really went above that, but I have friends who have 3,000 or 4,000 friends. And let me tell you, those 300 people were not my friends. I just sort of had this voyeuristic curiosity. So initially you just have this desire to know, where are these people living now? What are they doing for a living? How many kids do they have? Did they ever get married? I wonder if they're still as strange as they always were, or as awesome as they always were. And it's all very innocent and lighthearted at the beginning, but now you have this Facebook feed that goes on and on and on for miles, with extraneous details, this highlight reel from people's lives that you barely care about. So there's that aspect of Facebook where it's just a time suck for no apparent reason with people you don't really care about. I mean, you don't wish them ill. Certainly you wish them well, probably, but I don't think you really need to see what they had for breakfast or where they went out to last night or even their kid's adorable ballet recital if you really don't care about them, right? That was just my feeling. I was already getting a little sick of Facebook for that reason, and so a few years ago I had downloaded the Facebook Groups app onto my phone. And that was wonderful because you could just look at groups. So homeschool groups that I was a part of, or sewing groups, or planner groups, things that actually were educating me and giving me tools to improve my own life. And I completely avoided my Facebook feed, and I stopped posting on Facebook altogether. Now, what really drove that change though, the stopping my own posting and stopping any kind of interaction on my feed, was last year's political season. Because I'm sure you know, Facebook got really ugly really fast. And I live in a fairly conservative area. I am not conservative myself, at least not socially. And I found it really depressing to see some of the posts that people I respected and cared for were posting. And that's the honest truth. And I think that Facebook makes it easy to believe that people are one-dimensional and that what they believe about the environment is who they are and that defines them as a person, or what political candidate they're following defines them as a human being. And I found that it was becoming difficult for me to maintain positivity about the human race and about my friends and about real life when I was being exposed to all this negativity. And so in an effort to come back to real life and to embrace the view that people are multidimensional and more than just their political party and more than whatever inappropriate or disrespectful comment they might have just said, I removed myself from Facebook. And by removed myself, I mean I didn't deactivate my account. I still wanted to know what was going on in the neighborhood. I still wanted to see my groups. I just stopped looking at my feed. I stopped posting 100%. And that has been one of the best decisions I have made in my social media life. Everyone has their own feelings about this. That's mine. It immediately relieved so much negativity from my environment, from my heart, from my mind. My real life relationships with people improved because I was no longer tainted by whatever off the cuff, inappropriate, offensive comment they may have made. Because people are multidimensional, and it's much more important to see how they actually interact in the real world than how they interact on a Facebook page. And that's my personal opinion. I value actions over opinions. I really do. So my departure from Facebook was purely because it was more toxic than helpful in my life. So for you in your social media world, I would urge you to evaluate, is this platform really helping me become a better person? Is this helping me cultivate a grateful heart, a loving heart? Or is it making me into a more negative, judgmental, jealous person? So that's step one. Just evaluate social media and what it's actually doing for your life. Another aspect of social media is just overstimulation. Notifications, bells, whistles, dings. I don't have any of them on my phone. You will never hear me say to hit that little notification bell by the subscribe button on this channel. The reason is because I don't think a new video posting by me is an essential part of your life. And I don't think it ever should be. I think a lot of us here on YouTube can be very helpful to you. I know a lot of other YouTubers that are very helpful to me that I love following. But I don't think that if I miss a video, it's going to negatively impact my life. I don't think it's an emergency when one of my favorite YouTubers posts a video. If I miss them in my feed, I feel it and I look them up and I see that they posted a new video. I feel that spurt of joy. I watch their video while I'm folding laundry or whatever, and yay, they helped me or they didn't. But I don't need my day to be interrupted when they chose to post their video. If you find that notification bells and whistles and things from all sorts of apps, not just YouTube, are interrupting your day, are taking you out of the real world moment and down to your phone, I would urge you to just cancel your notifications. The only notification I have on my phone is for text messages and Amber Alerts, and that's pretty much it. I don't want to be interrupted throughout my day. I want to choose when I go to social media. I think there's so many benefits of social media. I think we can learn so much. I think we can build virtual communities that are real friendships, but I don't want to be interrupted. I want to choose. In the same way in real life, I choose when to pick up the phone and call a friend, or I choose when to go to lunch with a friend, or I choose when to watch a show. I want to choose about social media as well. My third thing about social media is that it can dampen your own creativity. Sometimes being flooded with Instagram images of perfect schoolrooms and perfect days and perfect planners and wonderful craft activities and beautiful peg dolls can change your own sense of creativity. Just because something is beautiful, just because something is amazing, just because someone else is doing something in a fantastic way does not mean that you don't have fantastic ideas of your own, and they can be very simple. I recently posted a picture on Instagram of our very unfancy poetry tea time. And the reason I did is because So many people post pictures of glorious tea times from my childhood dreams, with lace tablecloths outside in the garden and a careful arrangement of like tarts and carefully matched treats that match the poem that they're reading. And sometimes you just can't do that. Sometimes your days are busy, and if you want to get a poetry tea time in every week, sometimes you just pop in those refrigerated cookie dough things into the oven for 20 minutes, and you brew a pot of tea in a measuring cup, as someone commented, and you pop out some cute china and have it. Or you pop out your plastic IKEA cups and you have it. And everyone laughs and has fun, and you read poetry. People are always asking, what poetry do you read? And honestly, I read from everything. I always try to make sure that I have a Shel Silverstein out because it's funny. And I grab whatever other poetry book we have on hand and we read. There's really no set plan. I don't match my dessert to the poems, though I hope I do so someday. There is this idea of perfection in social media, and it is hard sometimes to get away from that. Do all the imperfectly wonderful things. Do it the best you can. If you can't paint or make the most adorable peg dolls, buy a $15 bag of peg dolls anyway and try, There's no reason to weigh someone else's creativity or craftastic talent as being more worthy than your own. We all have something to bring to the table. I kind of wish that people would start posting more imperfect things and imperfect pictures, because it makes us all feel so much more real and authentic. So that's my take on social media and perfection and nurturing your own creativity. Let it spark ideas for yourself, but don't be afraid because theirs looks so perfect. Do your own thing. It's all good. Social media can also be a huge time suck, which is why I urge you to create specific times where you approach social media. I no longer take my phone upstairs because I have my iPad now. My iPad has a lot less for me to get sucked into than my phone. So when we school, I use the iPad to show YouTube videos if I want to show this is the Eiffel Tower or whatever. If I have my phone, sometimes I'll be tempted to look at Instagram. So make times. I might be tempted to check my work email. Separate yourself physically from your phone. It really does help to stay in the present moment with your life and your real children, especially as you homeschool. Try to make a set time. Right now, I look at my phone in the morning. I look at my phone at lunch when we come down. I leave it charging in the kitchen so that basically it's my kitchen times when I look at my phone. I think that I could do much better. So what are some things that we can do to counteract the negative features of social media? I think there's about 4 things you can do that are pretty simple. 1, I already mentioned. Turn off your notifications and your bells unless they are absolutely necessary, unless they bring positivity to your day. 2, set specific times to check on your social media. 3, keep your phone physically apart from you so that you're not tempted. 4, pick a day of the week and make it a day of silence, where literally you do not look at your phone from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to sleep. It will not cause the world to tilt off its axis. Everything will still be moving and the day will go on. I have literally only done this once. Full disclosure. But I plan to start doing it once a week from now on. The reason is because I honestly feel like I'm on my phone too much. And I think having a day where I just detox completely would be really helpful to me as a person. Just to not look at Instagram, to not look at anybody's YouTube videos, to just give my mind a breather for an entire day, to focus on the real world around me and not what's in the palm of my hand. I think I'm on 4. I would say this might be the most difficult one for me, and that is to not bring your phone to bed. My phone is charged right next to my bed, at my bedstand. It is the last thing I look at before I fall asleep, and it is the first thing I look at in the morning, and I would very much like to change that. If you would like to take the challenge with me, I want to start from tonight to have a silent alarm clock, like an old-fashioned non-ticking alarm clock for my wake-up call, and to not go to bed with my phone at night. Having my phone there in the morning when I wake up makes it the first thing I turn to, and I am not disciplined about it. And I think the best way to counteract sort of jumping into your virtual world first thing in the morning would be to not have it there first thing in the morning. So those are the things I'm trying to implement. I already don't have any notifications on my phone. I already have set times to check on my phone. I would like to institute a Sabbath day of rest for social media and my phone, and also to stop having my phone at my bedside. I hope that this video has been helpful to you guys. I hope that some of those tips will help you to detox from social media as well. And as always, thank you so much for watching. I so appreciate my virtual community. I should probably say that one thing that has happened for me on social media is that I have developed a great friendship with, 8 or 9 other homeschool YouTube moms, and we genuinely care for each other, and we interact on a private message board on Instagram. And so that group of friends has been one of my greatest gifts from social media, and I appreciate it so much. I definitely think it is possible to create authentic community on social media, here on YouTube, on Instagram, and probably even on Facebook. And I hope for all of us that we pursue those types of relationships through social media instead of the less productive, less helpful ones. As always, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate your time, and I wish you the very best day. Don't forget to subscribe and like if you got anything out of this video. Thanks.